Hi, I'm Saren.
And I'm Ray.
We're your Spider Baby hosts from To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast, as well as proud members of the collective.
You're listening to Capes and Lunatics. Gimme, gimme.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend D.G. Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
This is Jerry Conway, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Shameless.
We gotta use that so other creators know it's safe to come on here.
Hey, that's right. Two interviews in 1 week, Will Hellfire. Come on. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Capes and Lunatics. Hey, that's our highest paying patron. Don't be bad mouthing him. Anyway, I am Phil. Joining me, as always, the man with lots of thoughts tonight on the certain parts of the anatomy. It is
Jolly, the Professor Esser, SPHR. What am I a professor in? You'll find out.
And the woman who prefers the hands-on approach from Florida. It is
Also, clothes optional kind of play, even though it shouldn't be.
Oh my god!
Living the dream.
Oh my!
You guys, honestly, we need to start recording like behind the scenes, like the pre-show.
Oh yeah, I'll just add.
So they get the reference.
Just add it at the end, yeah.
So that's for the Patreons, Phil. For the Patreons.
What the all nude episode? Okay.
Well, or the here's the things you always thought, but no one had said until I said it, and then it's like, yeah, I wanted to say that my whole life, but
oh my, all right, but yeah,
didn't have the guts.
Oh, before we get to our topic, I guess we should do the prerequisite since our number one patron is like literally a Moon Knight fan. Let's just quickly talk the trailer.
Oh,
even though the hype's dead. What do you guys think? It's interesting. I'm nervous, but I'm interested.
No, I love it. Okay, so wait, we have to talk about the biggest Easter egg.
Oh God!
In this, no, this is the big drop. Mark my words. The cupcake wagon stolen clearly says Von Du Cupcakes because in this universe, Victor Von Doom created an empire of delicious snack cakes with such hypnotically, scientifically, and mystically empowered confections that they could distract any hero or villain from their appointed task. He could have controlled the world. He would have beaten Thanos with a delicious fruit tart had Wakanda not banned Von Doom pies from distribution in that country.
So says really, Master Doom.
Exactly. So that is the big drop. That's the big reveal. That's going to be our big Dr. Doom. Is he actually is a master of cupcakes in this universe.
Well,
and that's also how they'll defeat the Galactus.
Still better,
he's a cake boss!
Still better than being a hacker.
It would be so much better and so much more in keeping with the character. Real delicious Latvian pastries brought to your local
something that they can sell at Disney World. Yes.
Doom brand cupcakes.
Doom bought cake, yeah. Oh, but I mean, okay, the trailer was good, but I think we're only seeing
where Doombot pops out.
But yeah,
the trailer for the bachelor party.
Oh my! But no, the trailer was good, but I think we're only seeing one side. We're only seeing like the Stephen Grant side, so I don't know if he's gonna have to like go on like some trip that and through flashbacks or whatever, he's gonna have to like rediscover. Oh, hey, he's Mark Spector and he was a mercenary, and all this jazz.
Well, I read a great theory on this, which is that the final episode is, he's going to find out that he has this wealth and all that, and he gets into a cab in New York, and as he sits there, he looks in the mirror and he sees The cabbie is Jake Loxley and says, "Where to, mate?" And
it's all in his head.
Well, no, the idea is that we're going to get that third persona later. Like, that's the third one, and that's where you know that this is all off the rails now, friends.
I don't know about that, but he's probably not going to get that suit until the last episode. They're going to pull a Daredevil and not give him that suit to the last episode.
I'd probably say the penultimate episode, actually.
Take a drink.
Hey,
Yeah.
take a drink.
But no,
That's the only reason I said it. Don't think too hard about it.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to say this: the suit's going to be their first episode.
Oh.
Because, and here's the thing, but it's like, it's always going to be like, is this happening?
Is it because you have to get used to it?
No, I think it's
not that pretty to look at.
Well, wait, are we
yeah.
seeing the real suit, or is that just in his head?
Exactly. It's like, what exactly are we seeing?
Is that how he's
like,
seeing himself? Yeah.
One of the scenes we've seen is him in a white shirt, apparently behind a glass wall, just like, hitting himself in the face. And it's like, are we going to get that mental asylum scene here? Are we getting that Moon Knight is just a crazy person thing?
You hit him right in the face with that sack.
Yeah. What? No.
They should bring back that guy that played Danny Rand just because Moon Knight actually did kick his butt in the comics, just for poops and giggles.
You know what?
Poor Connor.
He doesn't even have to train for it.
Poor Connor.
See, that's another thing. All of the shorts are back on Disney Plus now, including all the Agent shorts. So,
you're gonna pick Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. butt? Okay.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, I mean, it's like, but it's
all canon until Kevin says it ain't. So.
And to be fair, this gets back to our main topic of the evening, that there is stuff coming down the pike and stuff we're going to see. So anyway,
but no, I don't know if that suit we're seeing now is in his head, because you got that scene of like the suit almost looking like a symbiote, like putting itself on him, which made the internet create the meme. Now I cannot unsee Sailor Moon Knight.
Oh yes, nice. Well, to be fair, that wasn't new.
Yeah, but
Sailor
especially
Moon
with that
Knight
imagery,
has existed for years. It's really Disney,
but with that imagery.
Yeah, but it's Disney saying, you know what? People like to meme Sailor Moon and Moon Knight. Match made in heaven.
Are they going to steer into the skid? Are they? Oh my god! At some point,
of course they are.
At some point,
there's no skid to steer into.
No, I'm saying no. They're going to steer into the skid. At some point, he's going to demand his money from Dracula.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And his ketamine.
And Blade shows up. I'm looking for him too. Let's team up.
Oh, that's my other
Mark
theory.
my words. Mark them.
Nicolas Cage will be Dracula in both the MCU and the new Universal Monsterverse.
Is Universal still doing that?
They're doing Renfield, and Nicolas Cage is cast as Dracula there.
Okay.
And what better way to show the ageless Dracula than to have Renfield in 1900?
Well, you can't get Keanu Reeves and cast Nicolas Cage
with Nicolas Cage Dracula, and then have him show up.
Okay.
In Blade.
I was going to say,
that's how we got Hope back.
I don't know what the connection is, but is there some connection between Moon Knight and Morbius? Because all of a sudden, Morbius gets moved 2 days after Moon Knight premieres. So, is there a supernatural connection? Because remember,
it's April Fool's. There never was a Morbius movie. Don't you get it? Don't you get it, Phil?
Well,
they moved into April Fool's. There was no movie.
Well, Lilith, that would Lilith, that would suck.
Who's playing Morbius again?
Oh.
Who's playing Morbius?
Jared Leto.
Didn't he do the Disaster Artist mockumentary? Or was that someone else?
I think that was somebody else.
Was that Franco or was that somebody else?
Yeah, that was James Franco, I think, now that you mention it.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. I get all my moody
skinny
actors confused.
The Joker from Suicide Squad. That's who he is.
No, I know who he is.
Yeah, Joker from Suicide
They're all
Squad.
moody method actors. I know the type.
Oh
you
my!
Know, hey, if it didn't get them girls, they wouldn't do it. So
they were all at Burning Man. Oh, we really should record before the show.
Where's my album? Talk about Dracula giving my money, nerd. Where's my album, nerd? It's all rape and murder. I'll tell you that. Pot belly off. Get out of that damn House of Gucci movie and get in the damn studio.
Jeez.
Women like to see people get murdered. I mean, this According to my wife, I don't know.
Oh.
It's called informational murder porn. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Speaking of informational murder porn, shall we to our topic of the week?
Oh, Joss Whedon, digging an even bigger hole for himself? Yes, let's.
Well, to be fair, the hole was already pretty deep.
I mean, they took everything away from him. He had nothing to lose. Nobody wants to work with him. I mean, HBO kicked him off that show, the whole thing, like months ago. So,
and to be fair, and here's what I'm going to say. To be fair, and in his defense, he says everyone else is a jerk too, and I don't doubt that.
And that's true.
That's the thing about.
I mean, you don't get caught being a jerk.
Well, it's Hollywood.
It's
It's Hollywood, but it doesn't look good when everyone from every project you've ever worked on said, "Oh yeah, that guy's a jerk."
Well, no.
Well, it's been kind of a known fact.
Well, what it is
about
is
the Michelle Trachtenberg thing.
Yeah. I mean,
what he wasn't allowed in the same room
the
with a 16-year-old
Carpenter thing.
Oh,
yeah. Although Charisma Carpenter actually has stated that she wasn't like presenting it in the way that people have put it into. It's like,
He still called a pregnant woman fat and fired her for getting pregnant.
Yeah. I mean, he was,
and he calls himself a feminist.
Yeah. Well,
his
I
ex-wife,
don't know why
his ex-wife,
he does that, but
his ex-wife
fine.
says that's all an act.
Yeah. Well,
Of course.
Well, hey, either these broads
he's
get
in show business. What do you want for nothing?
either these broads get pregnant or they can't speak English. What do you say? Gal Gadot misunderstood because she can't understand English.
Which, honestly, I'm going to stop you right there because, yes, clearly she could not speak English. Okay? They made everyone in the Wonder Woman movie go back and re-record with her accent because she could not learn it. So maybe now she's much better.
Speaking and understanding are two different things.
She could.
I understand Spanish perfectly. My accent not so good. There's a difference.
And she wasn't speaking English in that movie. She was trying to speak Themysciran.
No, she was speaking Israeli, which is her Hebrew, which is her first language, which is the language of.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There wasn't going to be English accent. There was some kind of different accent they wanted to do in the movie.
Well,
but
no.
My point stands. Just because you can't speak it well doesn't mean you don't understand.
No, originally they shot, because we saw it in the trailers, where everyone had an English accent. Had the traditional high-born English accent when they were doing their lines. And then, it was something that Gal Gadot could not do. And they changed it. Maybe it worked, and it definitely worked for this film.
Sounds like a plan, Jan.
And again, I'm not trying to defend the guy here. I'm just saying it would not surprise me that Gal Gadot can be difficult on set. It would not surprise me that Ray Fisher can be difficult on set.
Yeah, but I mean, I get stars being difficult, but
as an actor who considers himself a working man actor,
come to find out, he also cut Don Cheadle scenes and Anthony Mackie scenes. I'm just saying, it don't look good for the guy.
So he's a racist too. Okay,
it don't look good.
Well, no. I get.
Yeah, probably.
I get stars.
But again, that goes to that other thing that Lilith was talking about.
I want Bianca Lawson to tell her story. The Black Slayer that died for Faith, so Faith could come in.
Hey, I get.
The executive specifically wanted Bianca Lawson.
I get Hollywood stars being difficult, Charlie Esther, but when you tell someone you're going to ruin their career, that's not a good motivational
I
speech.
think people say that all the time in Hollywood. I don't know. I just know
that don't make it right. That don't make it right.
Don't make it right, but no. And again, like I said, I don't want to be Joss Whedon's defense here, because literally I don't. I really don't care about the guy. I think that Jed has probably done better with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Jed and his wife, which actually I got a little confused there because one of the people who does Book of Boba Fett is also with the last name Tacharian, which is Jed's wife's last name. So actually, for a minute there, I got confused whether or not that Jed had taken his wife's name just to remove himself from the Joss.
Now that's a real feminist for you.
Well, no, but he didn't. It wasn't that, but there's actually just another brilliant director named Tacharian. Because of course Jed and his wife, who I'm forgetting her first name, but her last name is Tacharian, really made Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a fantastic thing, with Joss Whedon only tangentially involved cashing a check, which is, I think, probably his best role going forward. That's the thing. At a certain point,
he's been
you can be a person who cashes a check.
You need the money, gimme.
I think that would be his best move at this point. And I think at this point, he probably, I think this is the last we've heard of him at this point, because he wanted to say, just so you know, Ray Fisher is not a good actor and very bad at working with people when you're on a deadline. And to be fair, Joss Whedon in that moment is on a deadline, because he basically said, "Oh yeah, we shot this whole film, but it's a Zack Snyder film, so it's pretty bad. Could you kindly make it?
Maybe excuse is better than none.
Yeah, can you kindly make it better?" And he's like, "Oh, okay. I don't really do the same kind of stuff that Zack Snyder does." And really, that's the thing. It's like, we had, it's like, Edward Gorey couldn't finish this cartoon. Lisa Frank, could you finish this for us? And it's like, this is some pop cultural art references here for those who don't know. Lisa Frank was the one who drew
I understood those references.
the glittery stuff. Edward Gorey did, basically very stark ink drawings. Both fantastic artists. I'm sure both had mad respect for each other as artists, but you can't ask Lisa Frank to finish Edward Gorey's Ghastly Crumb Tinies or After the Outing. You don't need to, around at the time that TARDIS flies into bits, you can't suddenly have the unicorn come in to save everyone. It doesn't work that way.
Indeed.
It was just a bad choice to mesh those two together. And I think that meshing the two together is what caused all of this stuff to fall apart. And, they really should have just gotten fucked.
Well, if you look at his Marvel film.
Whoa! I did not enunciate the K. I did not enunciate the K. I got the fuck.
It wasn't me, finally!
Keep that fudge to yourself, Charlie Esser.
Yes. But they should have gotten, who's the guy that did the Batman films?
Tim Burton?
Like? He did not want anything to do with
not Tim Burton.
Nolan?
No,
Nolan. They should have had Nolan finish it, because Nolan is like, I'm his great friend.
He didn't want anything to do with it.
Of course he didn't, because it was Zack Snyder's Justice League. But the fact of the matter is, rather than saying, Nolan, your friend, he's having this family trauma, he has to step away from the project. Can you please finish this work? You have the same cinematic sensibilities. That still would have been terrible too. So no, it would have been, but then no one would be crying about it.
Nolan has his issues too. I think that would have blown up in anybody's face, to be fair, that specific situation. But the fact of the matter is that you're supposed to be a professional. And it was just time.
Okay, but the actors are supposed to be
people have their time, and they're done with Whedon.
Yeah.
They let everybody poop all over him. They're done with him.
Yeah, well, they were done with Whedon after Age of Ultron. So let's be clear here.
Which I was just shocked and flabbergasted that DC said, let's get some warmed over roadkill. That'll be fun.
Well, I think we all agree. DC, Warner's,
then they got Bendis.
Warner's is at the point they're willing to try any stunt if they think it's going to turn the movies around. Disney smelled the littlest hint of a, bad stuff.
Patty Jenkins, and that's their fault that they didn't do that. And now Disney and Marvel have their hands in her pie. Sorry for the phrasing.
Phrasing. Yeah, I mean that is the truth of it. It's like, Warner's has made some very poor choices creatively, and Joss Whedon was one of them.
It's an iceberg. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, really, it's like, okay, Joss Whedon was the wrong guy to put on this project.
But it's interesting that they chose this time. There've been other allegations and stuff against Whedon, and they just haven't seen the stick, because he was still, profitable as a name, and, after Age of Ultron, his stock value really did go down. And so...
Yeah, I mean, that's
like, exit stage left!
Yeah. And again, like I
that's
said,
the Hollywood machine. It's interesting.
Yeah, and I guess my biggest thing in here is I am not willing to give Ray Fisher as much credit as he wants. Ray Fisher wants this was the Cyborg movie, and this was going to be this grand adventure, and
my
Joss
big
Whedon
thing
made this very honest statement of like, I don't think people are going to care that much about Cyborg. I really want to minimize this character's role and focus on the big names of the film.
I mean, I think he might have had a legitimate.
Which, if you say it that way, sounds much more.
Division.
I think he might have had a legitimate claim, but I think he went about it the wrong way in the press. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Yeah, like I said, his management was terrible.
Yeah,
terrible. That you don't do it like that, buddy.
Yeah, and that was the thing.
Again.
No. If you want to go after Whedon, but don't go after the head of Warner's and all those higher up guys. It's
he went after Jeff Johns too, for what it's worth, and I mean, claims there too, probably. But you can't go after Jeff Johns.
And again, like I said,
not so much.
I don't know these people. I only know Hollywood from what Fox News tells me.
Whoa!
Which does say it is basically news Babylon.
I knew it.
I don't actually
I've always
watch Fox News.
suspected. Thanks for confirmation, Charlie.
No, but the fact of the matter is, I personally feel that most showbiz people are very loose with the HR. Because I work both in HR
I've been in the show business.
I have been in the
I
show
know.
business.
I watched the movie.
Okay.
I saw. I know.
But no, what I'm saying is like, I feel that there is a lot of looseness in the game that gets caught up in the HR, which normally it can be dealt with. It can be dealt with if you are not going to cause a problem about it. So, for example, when you become Harvey Weinstein, when you become, what's his name? Bill Cosby, when you start like crossing certain lines that are like, okay, well, that's actually a line nobody will accept you crossing. What you did there, that's a bad thing. That's a mistake, and you can't ever do that because you should never work in film again. Being a jerk on set, I don't know if that necessarily makes you unemployable.
Yeah, but weren't there claims of sexual harassment too? Again, on Buffy, they wouldn't let him in this. They wouldn't leave him alone with Michelle Trachtenberg, a 16-year-old. I mean, I think there was more issues than just being mean to people.
Well, yeah, but I haven't heard that story.
Yeah. But
that's the thing. It's like, maybe they won't let him alone because he's just a real jerk to this kid.
Well, I don't want to name names, but a certain actress on Firefly way back when, also. Not going to name names if you know, you know.
Okay, well.
He was also harassing. Why he got fired from that show on HBO was that he was harassing the female writers too. So.
Okay, well, he probably does, and that is a bad thing, and he should be. He's bad, and he should feel bad. I have no problems with that. Hey,
it just finally caught up to him. You're only as good as your last movie, and your last movie wasn't good, so you're done. You're finished.
Pretty much, and I wish he wasn't bringing down other people.
It's over, Johnny.
I guess that's the sad thing. I think that there's a lot of great artists that have been risen up by him.
You're
who
basic.
will now have the Whedon taint. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am fully certain that there's a Snyder taint and an everybody else
when
taint.
When he didn't fire Brendan Nicholas, I knew those two were two peas in a pod. That's all I'll say about it. We're going to move on.
Oh!
I don't want the Buffy fans to come at me.
Gotta spill that tea.
If you know Nicholas Brendan, two peas in a pod, as far as I'm concerned.
One day you're gonna spill all your tea, little Hellfire.
Not his poor twin, though. His twin is a good guy.
Anyway, but it is what it is, and he's, here's what I'm gonna tell you. Right now, it's Hollywood, baby. He'll be back.
There's a drop.
He's gonna say I'm sorry at some point to somebody, and somebody's gonna say, it's
we actually apologize? We've never heard him apologize, ever.
No, look what he did this week. He made a statement and said,
he got fired, he got canceled, was because he was a big dickhead.
Wow! Whoa!
But you can always say you're sorry. Okay, you know what George Burns always said about show business, and then Milton Berle stole from him? That the most important thing in show business is sincerity. And once you can fake that, you got it made. So, I'm sorry, that's just the truth of it. It's like, once you can fake sincerity, that's
the thing, he doesn't
let people know that...
If we break down his career, it's all pretty mid.
He came in fake sincerity, though. Look what he did this week. He threw out yet another statement where he blames everyone he ever worked with. It's all their fault. Yeah. It's all the world's fault, not mine.
No, get me!
And to be fair, that's a week's news cycle. That's the thing. Louis C.K. can come back to the big shows anytime he wants. He just has to say, you know what? I was probably a jerk when I did that thing. I didn't know it at the time, and now I know it.
Sticky jazz hands.
And now I know that was a jerk thing to do. I'm not going to do that anymore because I realized, that's kind of a jerk thing I did.
I didn't know I could do that, but I did. The big finish.
But that's the thing. We forgive people who say, oh, that was a bad thing. Because, again, what Louis C.K. did had a certain distance from the bad things that Cosby did. So it's like when you do the cancel culture spectrum, there's the Cosby end where nothing Cosby could ever say is going to forgive Cosby for what Cosby did. What Louis C.K. did was definitely lousy and bad, and words that I should use, but we can't because this is a public podcast. They're all things that if he would actually just acknowledge his own failures as a human being, he could go back to being Louis C.K., the beloved comedian. And the same thing I think is true of Joss Whedon. All he needs to do is say, you know what? I kind of realized I wasn't.
Those are only kids seeing movies now. They ain't having it.
Well, no. Well, you don't have to. You don't have to go back to Disney. There's lots of places you can make a film. He can make little indie stuff on Tubi if he wants to.
Nicolas Cage from Dracula.
You know what?
Nicolas Cage would not work with him. Sorry to tell you. Out of all my nepotism babies, he's my favorite, but he's got good common sense other than not knowing how to manage his money. That's his downfall.
Oh my.
You just wait till he's the new big bad in the MCU after Blade.
Oh, I don't care. I love Nicolas Cage. His Mandy, if you've never seen Mandy, he's in his Nicolas Cage has been having a renaissance in the horror movie like A24 elevated horror kind of thing. And if you haven't checked out Nicolas Cage lately, you should. I love Nicolas Cage, but I'm just saying.
No. I mean, I love Nicolas Cage too. See, what bothers me is people say they want to make Johnny Blaze. And I'm like, no, Nicolas Cage needs a new role. Johnny Blaze was great, but if you want to bring back a Johnny Blaze, you don't want a Nicolas Cage. I mean, honestly, you really want to do a new Johnny Blaze. You want to get like a Reb Brown, someone who was like an Evel Knievel peer who had been the death rider for centuries. It always comes back to Reb Brown, man. The man was a national hero. Although you know who was also a great Captain America.
National heroes?
I'm too drunk for this.
Okay, anyway, do you want to get to comics, people? I don't know.
It's only Mountain Dew, Philip, and it's Friday night.
Yeah, let's get the comics.
Phil's Comics Corner.
And I can only have Mountain Dew, make something good without all the sugar in it. How about that?
What do you... Wait,
that's called Diet Mountain Dew,
That's called anything but Mountain Dew, Lilith.
That tastes like garbage.
Oh, what, Diet Mountain Dew?
Diet soda is garbage.
Okay, well, no, it's fine when it's like beer. You have to develop a taste for it. Like, once you get a taste for it, it's like, oh, this is actually has a quite complex
That's
palate.
like drinking caffeine-free Pepsi. What's the point?
That's like going. That's like going to.
It has no taste.
That's like going to McDonald's and just getting a salad.
Have you ever had a caffeine-free Pepsi? Where's all my Mormon people in the comments? They'll tell you. All the converts, they'll tell you. It's garbage.
All right, Charlie Esser, throw out a comic.
Oh, throw out a comic. Oh, well, let's go
I do at the end of every week.
Let's talk Heathens, man.
Heathens
3.
Okay. She's sitting right there.
I feel like there's a jump here because it's like two different stories, because obviously you have all the different groups. They've already broken up. For those who don't remember, in the last episode, our hero, who I'm forgetting her name, but she's basically the pirate king of Hong Kong, or possibly Taiwan, but she is like the queen of the pirates, has killed more men than you could ever hope to kill, And she is our prime heathen. She is the one who tracks down the souls escaped from hell. And she is broken off because they're all after the Ripper. We realize that now the Ripper, as you do, has a whole freaking cult. And they're under the rules not to kill innocents. But if you're in the Jack the Ripper cult, are you really an innocent? And we also have, of course, our other group here. We have Meyer Lansky, Billy the Kid, and I forget Bumpy's last name, but
Johnson?
Basically, two 1920s bootlegger gangsters, Billy the Kid, and they have captured one of the Ripper cult members. And they're in a cab, and the cab driver is like having none of this. And Billy the Kid just wants to go to where the streetwalkers are because he's going to protect them. Meanwhile, Sophia, who is the Russian poisoner, has infiltrated the Ripper commune, and she is like trying really hard not to just kill everybody because they all are deserving of death. She eventually finds out that they have children that they are indoctrinating into a mad faith of killing prostitutes. And then, plotline, big reveal at the end. We don't get much more in this, but when our pirate captain finally faces the real Ripper.
Pirates, arg!
It's a lady who's like, I used to be a prostitute. I know how worthless they are. So, all that self-loathing comes back, and that is the source of all heck. Hey, did anyone see Ghosts this week?
What?
Good lore-building episode on CBS, Ghosts. Watch it. It's a lore episode, and if you like lore, that's the thing. Okay.
All right.
Who else wants to give us a book?
Lilith.
That was Aftershock, right?
What?
Was that Aftershock Comics?
Oh, no, this is... Yeah, that is Aftershock. Aftershock Comics, The Heathens, numero 3, number 3, number 3. I don't know how Germans say the word number, which is weird.
I didn't believe any of those accents.
Numeral 3.
Okay, I was just making sure everybody knew where to find it if they wanted to. I'm going to move over to Boom and talk about Power Rangers, number 15, obviously.
Duh.
She loves the Power Rangers. What's not to love?
I do.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
As well you should.
This is like really for Power Rangers, like there's all kinds of like different, like there's Mighty Morphin and all this in the Power Ranger line of books over there, but this one is Power Rangers, and we're doing the Zeo Crystal thing. So if you're a fan of Power Ranger Zeo, I don't know why you would be, but if you are, this might be the book for you.
Because every lore has its fandom.
It's not a lot of...
Yeah, that's the thing. Every lore has its fandom. Well, don't hate on their fandom just because it doesn't speak to you.
All 10 of them. This is the book for you. I'm just thinking that the Atarian War is really cool, and I like that they're covering it from so many different angles. So it's like it's like a multiverse, if you will. Everybody's coming together to defeat Thanos at this point, which is Lord Zed, which is the best villain next to Rita. So
she is very good as a villain.
Pretty cool. All right. I got to throw this one out, and also because 1, it was good. 2, friend of the show, Ben Reilly, Spider-Man number 1.
I did not get to read that. What happens?
It is set in the 90s for when Ben was first took over as Spider-Man.
In the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Lots of good stuff. Carrion, Scorpion. We see. I didn't know Dr. Kafka knew all about Peter and Ben, but I guess she knows because
Kafka knows everything. That's why her hair's so big. It's full of secrets.
Oh.
That's a Mean Girls quote.
Oh, no. But no, I mean, again, if
gotta throw them off every now and then.
If you love Spider-Man, if you love 90s Spider-Man, of course, if you love Ben Reilly, yeah, Ben Reilly, Spider-Man number 1, get it, read it. I think this is 5 issues, probably priming us for a Ben Reilly series after Spider-Man Beyond, and we reboot to a new Amazing number 1, which they've already confirmed.
And while we love J.M.D. Mateus, shout out to David Baldian, who did the art. I think they're a very good dynamic team together.
Oh, yeah.
That flipping across town, baby. So good.
Oh, I know. It's just like the fight scenes, like Carrion and everything, yeah.
It kind of gave me the vibe vibes of like, they were like, hey, remember when we said it was going to be nonstop Spider-Man? Well, we're actually going to do it.
Oh, the 90s goodness. Oh, I mean 90s sell, baby. Because did you see what's coming up soon, Lil Hellfire? Slingers.
Of course.
What is that? 80 issue Amazing Spider-Man 88 Bay. Bay.
I really hate the numbering convention on them, but it is what it is at this point.
I know. Too much story, Lilith.
Trying to be hip and trendy. I mean, it's just like when we used to do issue 0 or issue 0.5 or whatever, I guess. We're harkening back to those days.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of 90s stuff. Did you read, from new friend of the show, Ron Mars, did you read Silver Surfer Rebirth #1?
Of course I did.
Ah, nice.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, it's once again set during the 90s.
So we got Ron Lim on the art.
Yes.
It wasn't exactly what I was expecting, which I appreciated, actually.
Yeah.
It's like the reality gem. We're doing this? Okay, we're doing this.
That's how we get the original
But it turned out surprisingly good.
Yes, that's how the original Captain Marvel appears.
Captain Marvel. Phil is totally happy about
Marvel! Be better if it was Quasar, but still. But yeah, no, someone's using the reality gem.
I know, close enough.
Someone's using the reality gem, the ultra reality, and then Thanos shows up and it's like, oh, it's not me, we gotta stop this. It's not me, so we have to stop it.
Oh, Thanos.
That character
Doesn't
no one knows.
Other people playing with his toys.
I know.
But they're not his toys.
Like Deadpool and Death. Hail.
His stolen toys.
Gets his rock.
Yeah, we all know
gets his
that
rocks
Thanos
off.
is a robot now, so.
Wait, Thanos is a robot?
Yeah, because all the Eternals are robots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's died and come back so many times. Who knows what he is?
Because he's a robot. It's like, we don't know what the
He's
Celestials
a Doombot!
are.
He's the Doombot of... He's what all Doombots crave to be. He's the ultimate Doombot.
It's what the Doombots crave.
No, that's how Von Doom became the cupcake master of the MCU. Because he devised Doombots to crave the ultimate cupcake. He made the ultimate cupcake.
Baked goods.
Filled with the simple Rick formula of what is happiness.
Baked goods. How you gonna lure those children in?
Nice.
How you gonna lure those children in to stick your mind in? Hey, well.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Whoa!
Mind, Lilith.
Get your cat out of there!
Oh, there's a drop.
That's a deep dive. Only true fans get that reference.
All right.
I got it.
All right, Charlie, throw out another book.
Let's talk My Bad! Number 3 from Ahoy Comics. Labor conquers all things. The Oklahoma State motto. Which, honestly, that makes me want to move to Oklahoma. I didn't know it was such a union town. Probably not. But maybe it is. I don't know, That sickle is agricultural workers. The hammer industrial. They have bonded, and together we laborers accomplish all things. So as you may remember, Mr. Winthrop, also known as the Chandelier, Gravel City's Dark Knight of headlamps.
Whoa.
He's very much bothered by the fact that Emperor King has sent him a salad shooter for his birthday, and he doesn't know why. He doesn't know if this is a trap. So he goes to find the only person... Well, actually, let me be actually clear here, because he doesn't really go to find anything about the actual case. Because this is a pastiche of Batman, and it's a pastiche that doesn't like Batman.
I love Batman.
I know you do, but not everyone does. Some people...
Technically, we love Nightwing, but
I love Batman.
Bruce can come along, too.
Hey,
I like Batmite, who is now canon for the DCEU.
Peacemaker.
So, hey, first off, Fifth
Are
Dimensional
you guys
Imps...
enjoying Peacemaker? It's perfectly ridiculous fun.
I haven't watched...
It's what the DCEU should have been.
I haven't watched episode 4 yet. I thought 2 and 3 were better than episode 1. So it was getting better as it goes along,
Yeah, well, that's what you want with a series. You always want it to get better.
Yeah.
The other direction is
But
not
when it comes to the DC properties, it usually doesn't happen.
Yeah. But I am very pleased with it so far. But I just like the fact that
Eagly, damn it, James Gunn, stop making CGI characters.
What I will say is I wish the films would embrace fifth dimensional imps. Because I do feel that is the one thing that could make the DCEU really pop.
Maybe that's what's going to happen in the Flash movie. Who knows?
I mean, honestly, I want a league. I want a league of mixed.
If you mention that damn movie one more time,
I want the mix of mixes.
You know everything but the kitchen sink's going to be in that movie, Lil. It's going to be a hot mess.
I want fifth dimensional wizards. I want Batmite. I want Quisp.
Ambush Bug.
Oh, Dodie! Oh,
is too powerful.
The Flash movie. The Flash movie.
It'll help you.
Yeah. Here, let me say this: if you suddenly see Steve Buscemi cast in the Flash movie, know that Ambush Bug will be in it. So, there's no other human being alive that could better encapsulate Ambush Bug than Steve Buscemi.
My big thing.
Anyway, so where was I? Oh, yes. So he goes to understand. Because of course in the last issue he tried to do physical intimidation of sources, but he did it outside of his costume. So people were wondering why this billionaire was beating up drunks in an alley. Almost a little bit of a Moon Knight thing where he doesn't seem to know what costume he's wearing. But in this one, he starts going into the computers, but then happens upon the Accelerator, who is our Superman pastiche. He's a Superman Flash merged pastiche, and gets very obsessed by the fact that he has more followers than him on the social medias. So he tracks down the villain, who is the master of social medias, who is Instagram. So it's Insta GRAHAM to help him, and he's a retired supervillain. But eventually, the Chandelier annoys him so much that he unleashes his true power to make you lose focus and focus on whatever he is doing right now, because he is Instagram. And of course, the only way to escape him is to jump out a window and run away. Which leaves him back there. But then the Accelerator follows the Chandelier, and it makes him feel good. So, yeah. Superheroes are a little bit weird. Then we get Rush Hour, who is our plucky underdog of the series, in a previous episode where he runs up with Manchild, because Manchild is not wearing his seatbelt, and there's a whole conversation about whether or not, and for those who don't remember, Rush Hour has superhuman powers that he uses to prevent traffic accidents, gifted to him by a wizard. And he is discussing with Manchild about how he needs to wear his seatbelt in the car. And he makes this point, Manchild makes the point, that there is, so many more times likelihood that your seatbelt will malfunction than you'll be in a fatal accident going in stop-and-go traffic at a certain speed. Basically, Manchild did his own research. When Manchild does his Hulk thing and hulks out, Rush Hour immediately apologizes and says, "Oh man, I didn't realize who you were. I'm sorry about that." And then flies him to the game on time so he doesn't miss the game. Because he says, we superheroes have to stick together. There's even a whole thing in this about how, people have been objectifying Rush Hour because he likes to spank traffic violators who tailgate. And then that became a fetish for certain people who wanted to get spanked by Rush Hour.
I don't know what's going on. I like it. Tell me more.
Anyway, meanwhile, we get back to what Rush Hour's real-time current situation is, which is being trapped in Emperor King's death vault that has 16 levels that he can't, that Emperor King designed that even he could not let someone out of. So he has to endure them, which includes, flamethrowers, killer bees. Although, to be fair, it's Rush Hour's own fault that he got stung by the killer bees, because Emperor King told him, don't open that thermos, it's not filled with water. But he opened it anyway. He said, I thought it might have been filled with milk, but it was filled with killer bees. Then, of course, the water floods the tank for 3 minutes. Rush Hour says that he's not sure he can hold his breath for 3 minutes, but in fact he does. And he winds up surviving all 16 levels of death meant to destroy the accelerator, which kind of tells you probably that would not have worked very well. Although, to be fair, the first level was like kryptonite gas, which had no effect on Rush Hour, so, he does survive at the end. So, yay, Rush Hour survives.
Well, you gotta use the mustard gas.
Yeah, but, throughout it, we actually see, Emperor King sort of dealing with, why do I hate the accelerator so? And jumping back and forth in time. So that's, it's a very silly pastiche of superheroes. And because I'm a fan of superheroes and can understand their silly pastiches from time to time, I enjoy the book a lot. So my bad, number 3. Ahoy, comics!
All right, Lilith.
Arg.
Arg.
I just want to mention Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 125 over at IDW. Ooh. It's a big landmark for them. We got Sophie Campbell and Pablo Tunica working on it. Obviously, Sophie Campbell writing, Pablo doing the art. And this is a jumping on point. We're introduced to the punk frogs. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to talk about the return of Triceratons. And then that was the highlight of the book. If you're a Teenage Mutant fan, you get it. If you don't, I guess you don't. And you might want to pick it up. It's pretty cool, I think.
Nice.
I played a Triceraton Time Lord when I played the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles role-playing game.
My big thing. They had everything.
It was a glorious time to be alive. I don't know why we kept on making years after those.
I mean,
all of us have been born by then.
I feel
the same.
We milked the 80s. We moved on to the 90s. Now we're trying to redo the 90s.
Yeah,
poorly.
They were a good time too.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, this time I'm able to drink, so there's that.
Oh, Kim.
Yay, drinking.
All right. Who read Amazing Spider-Man 86?
I did read Amazing Spider-Man 86.
Oh.
I liked it.
Wow. No, not even any auto.
No, well, I got my, we have their Ben Reilly, and, we all love Ben Reilly.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really more interested in the Beyond Corporation than anything else.
Yes, what are they up to? What does it mean?
I just want to know what
Show
they
yourself.
are.
What's in the box?
Look, here's what I'm going to say. Clearly, the Lunatics have taken over the asylum. Someone at Marvel...
Speaking as an expert, we agree.
People want everything to make sense and have meaning within the complex structure of the universe that has already been built. And the Beyonders and the Beyond Corporation and the Beyonder, the first one, who they still have not demoted from omnipotent being of will mess you up if you look at them funny. It all gets weird. And the Beyond Corporation, with all of its humans, still making talking fish experiments and talking sandwich experiments. There is something afoot. And I am still stuck in my idea that the Beyond Corporation is the Beyonders who transferred to human form, but did not gain full use of their powers or have their powers limited in some way because they transferred to human form. There's going to be some kind of a thing here, or there won't, because as we'll get to in Moon Knight eventually, apparently you can just drop some random thing 5 years ago in Dark Reign and never follow up with it, and then, oh no, now that's actually central to everything we're discussing now. So, I don't know, and that's what is so exciting about Amazing Spider-Man, is how much you don't know, how much you suspect to be up, and how much you still don't know at the end of it. It's like, nope, it was all
It's like living in Florida.
It was all dry ice and fog machines and rubber masks. It was just dry ice and water and a flashlight and
my knickers are fully frosted.
And that's everything that you thought you saw was not what you thought you saw. It could be wind up that Mysterio was behind it all, and that is what Beyond Corporation is. Oh, I'm going to wear a gimp mask and murder people. No, that's Zodiac.
Gotham. Speaking of Gotham, not to cut you off, Phil, but I do want to shout out Teenie Howard with Catwoman.
Yes.
Outing. I want to make sure everybody knows. We talked about it over on We Are the Night Batman podcast, but just want to make sure, in case you didn't catch that one just yet, that you should be reading that book.
First issue of a new arc.
We're out of Alleytown, baby.
Trying to get over.
Magistrate is gone.
Getting over on those crime families, going undercover in a strip club. Oh yeah,
we're back to Win in Rome, basically, as far as I'm concerned.
It was really good.
Is Fish Mooney made canon in the comics yet?
No, and she never will be.
Then I have no interest. I'm sorry. Fish Mooney forever. I said it. There's certain fandoms.
That's the one character I'm glad they did nothing with.
Oh my.
Fish Mooney, Gus Gorman. The two characters with so much
Gus
potential.
Gorman's her father. That's the plot twist.
Oh, well, there we go, man. I would, if you could make a book just for me, that would be it.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm sure you can commission some fanfic writer. I'm sure.
I mean, I'm sure. I could write that book myself. I don't want to write
David Walker on the phone. Get David Walker on the phone.
David Walker would eat that up with a spoon.
You mentioned something. You mentioned something to him about Gus Gorman. He was like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Oh God, no."
Oh,
he put that honestly, he filed that away for sure.
Oh, I know he did.
Give him a Superman book.
He shows up in Naomi. Mark my words.
Get David Walker on the phone.
I got thoughts on Naomi. We'll talk about that on the next show.
Are we going to talk She-Hulk over on Super Connectivity? Because I know we're doing a She-Hulk talk.
Yeah, She-Hulk will be. That is our topic. Don't steal my thunder. Thank you.
Oh, well, you mentioned Moon Knight. Should we talk Moon Knight?
We can talk Moon Knight because, like I said, I did not realize until this issue that this Zodiac was that Zodiac. Because I loved the Dark Reign Zodiac series. I read it. I beloved it. It was fantastic. It was all about this Zodiac character who we didn't know who he was. He had no name and no history, and he was really good at causing problems for Norman Osborn.
Which they've recently covered on Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast.
The Moon Knight podcast.
They did.
Yes, him and Russell covered that. Yep.
You know, there are so many podcasts, and it's like I want to listen to them all.
I listen to.
Oh, you don't take the train anymore, so.
No, I don't. It's like the only time I get to listen to podcasts is when I do laundry now. And I have to be honest, it's usually Wait, Don't Tell Me. Or Science Fridays. It's like these are the ones.
You just stabbed us in the heart, Philip. I
know. You know what? Because I know what nerds talk about. Because it's like, I would love it, but I mean, honestly, the amount of my nerd podcasts are very low. I will be honest with you. Probably because that's what I does for livings now. Except not for livings, but I do it, So it's like 90% of my
funsies.
I don't mind, man. I don't pay attention if I'm not talking.
I know the hip language the kids use these days. I think it's on top of the fridge, Ben, on the far right side.
I like this issue. Last issue I was a little iffy on, but this one they turned me around on. So
yeah, and are we giving? Well, I don't know if I should spoil this, but are we giving a certain someone who sent Tigra a Batman complex?
Yeah, that is a good friend T'Challa. He is back, and he's right. Moon Knight is too dangerous. Moon Knight is Ambush Bug. Moon Knight is if Ambush Bug. It's like that's the thing. It's like if Ambush Bug was weaponized, which one could argue should be Deadpool, but no one realizes that about Deadpool yet.
Well, I mean, I guess after Age of Khonshu, he might have a point.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the thing. It is Age of Khonshu that sort of because he used the power. That's the thing, because he used the power.
And the power of Khonshu.
Yes, he has the power. He opened the door, and now Black Panther's really worried about this guy because he's a very dangerous human being. But I get the feeling
it's just Moon Knight. And Black Panther's just like, nah, I'm gonna keep my eye on him.
And manslaughter.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Manslaughter. Manslaughter Marsdale when Man Mountain Marco's not picking up the phone.
Yeah, well, no, this was the character.
I know
the Zodiac comic,
he was in the Zodiac, yeah.
Yeah, who sadly even was a character that it's so sad that he's so defensive of Zodiac, and it's like he doesn't even know I'm the one that really screwed his life over, and it's like Zodiac is so evil. Here is my weird left-handed crazy fan prediction. Mark my words. Zodiac will be revealed to be Gwenpool's brother, and that's why he knows everything and why he's such a threat. Because whereas Gwenpool rejected becoming the evil Gwenpool, Zodiac embraced it and took on the identity of the Zodiac, which he knew was already an established trope in comics with the Zodiac Quadrille, Nick Fury's brother who was the Zodiac, etc., etc., etc.
Now watch, it'll be what's his face, Arthur Darrow. Oh God.
No, probably it's going to be Max Fury, the LMD Nick Fury.
Well, no, I mean, they dropped the name Darrow in that trailer, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, Ethan Hawke's playing Darrow, who showed up once in the '80s, and now that issue of Fist of Khonshu went up to $100 or more.
Oh,
people are so stupid.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's him because that.
Yeah, I give Jed McKay more credit. I give Jed McKay more credit than that. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. I feel like whatever we're gonna get with this character, it's gonna be something interesting. It's gonna be the kind of thing that, like the Beyond Corporation, just bends the laws of reality because it's a flexible universe.
All right, so I'll make the announcement right now, Lilith. I told you if you want to join me. Charlie, if you want to join me Wednesday night, I'm not going to talk Devil's Reign Villains for Hire #1 yet, because Wednesday night we're going to have the Raider on live, so if you want in, Charlie Esser.
I would love to be there.
And if you're itching, check out the YouTube channel. I'm sure Russell and Justin, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. I already put that one up, and I have their X-Men episode. That'll be going up soon, so... Oh, yes, they,
We know what time Wednesday?
9:15 Eastern.
9:15. Okay, yes. I think I can make it work.
Oh.
Because, see, Maz, he often moves Book of Boba Fett from Tuesday to Wednesday. But at 9:15, I think we got that opening.
That fancy man.
I will be there, because I haven't read it yet, but I'm so excited about the Villains book.
Oh, it's good. And, yes, like you said, yes, Russell and Justin covered it. You can listen to that on Tomes of Evil or on our YouTube channel. So
if you want to see what they look like, you can check out the YouTube or do both.
No, I don't think they did videos. So yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
No. You.
Everyone looks as pretty as me, Lilith.
I know.
Some people.
I got you. I don't know what for.
Hey, well. All right, so yes, stay tuned for that with the writer himself, kids.
Phil, can I ask you a real quick question?
Sure, Charlie Esser.
Did you recently dye your hair red?
No, I did not. It's just the light behind me. No, it's still the same color. I just cut it real. It's just cut real short.
Silly little Superman blanket.
It's just cut real short and the light.
Change it to Spider-Man already.
I'm just saying it looks nice. I think you should dye your hair flaming red.
Bill couldn't handle the pressures of being a ginger.
Oh my!
Well, first off, it wouldn't be a ginger. Ginger is a rusty red. This would be a bright, clearly synthetic red, meant to draw attention, like plumage on a Norwegian blue parrot.
All right, are we done?
Yes.
Sure, I got another show to do, so I'm.
Yes, me too. All right, kids. So
this ain't even my whole night.
I can do this all night.
Sorry,
all right, kids.
Yeah.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Snoochie. All right, kids. So yeah, send your thoughts on the Moon Knight trailer. Joss Whedon, new comics. Like I said, the interview's coming soon. So send all your thoughts, new comics whenever they come out. Email us capesandlunatics @gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Find links to all the various social medias for all the many, many shows we do. Find links to the YouTube channel. Once again, every episode gets a video. Plus, like we said, with the Devil's Reign crossover, Ray's sending me his episodes of Devil's Reign. Justin and Russell are sending me their episodes. So, yeah, you'll be able to find the complete Devil's Reign on our...
The collective have come together on a project.
The collective, that's right. So, subscribe to the YouTube. Oh, my. But most importantly, if you can, please subscribe to the Patreon. Once again, we're supporting this by ourselves, so every little bit helps. All right, we're going to release the interviews, kids, but the Patreons are going to get the interviews 2 weeks before everyone else, so.
Release the Kraken from the vault!
Plus, you get Mr. DG Chichester every month with me and Lilith. New episode coming pretty soon here, and... when you hear this on the podcast, it's probably already out, Pale. And superhero, the worst superhero or comic book movies, it's about to begin. So
Captain America, Matt Salinger versus Howard the Duck.
That's right.
Duck nipples! Sorry.
Whoa.
You know, who is the favorite? Who is the underdog? I don't know. They're both so good. I mean, that's the thing. They're just. I was just
watching that. Oh my God, Lilith. He was in bed with Leah Thompson. All I can think of. Oh, he's gonna get that corkscrew. He's gonna get that corkscrew.
You do know how duck penises work, right?
Yeah, I was just watching Matt Salinger's Captain America.
Whoa! And
man, that film has depth and breadth, and like almost every modern Cap concept that we now take to who Cap is addressed in this film. Much like Superman 3, it is this film that is so maligned because it predicted the future. And as Bruno knows, no one wants to hear about the future.
Oh, where did you watch it at in case anybody wants to watch it?
Oh, that is... Okay, I don't know if it's legal, but apparently it's up on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, it's probably legal then. They take that stuff down like that. So.
Yeah, I know, but it's there. It's on YouTube. It's nice. It's on a little channel with a lot of Christmas carols.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't watch it yet, but I did see it was up on YouTube, so that's probably where I'm going to watch it.
Captain America, Matt Salinger, it comes up, and you know it's the one, because it's like 190 minutes, and it's a good film. It's got a couple commercials in it, but it tells you the whole story.
If you have YouTube Premium, don't worry about it. You can get 30-day free trial if you don't have it. So
it's got Billy Mooney in it, which is wonderful. And then it also has Darren McGavin in it, the father from, well, he's the Night Stalker, of course.
Cool.
He's also the father from A Christmas Story.
Oh God, you see they're doing a sequel to that with the kid as an adult now.
I saw that. I'll allow it because I want to see where they go with it. I get the feeling they're going to have him doing the Gene Shepard stories, but it's like him talking about himself. Because Gene Shepard did a lot of autobiographical stories, so
I like everything.
I can see the premise. I can see what the authors and the writers were going for, and we'll see if it works. You know.
So look at all this. Look at all this conversation we get on the Patreon, kids. So sign up for the Patreon. Go subscribe, or go pick yourself up some and watch the Patreon while wearing your Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merch. Get it all at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. All right, Lilith Hellfire, where can people talk to you about ducks?
Oh, if you nerds want to learn how duck penises work, find me on Twitter. Generally Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Live tweeting. Know me over on Instagram at Lilith Hellfire 69, and of course on TikTok. Making the spicy comments might be a comment on your post at Lilith Hellfire 69. Suck it, Russell.
Oh my God, you guys have to listen to Russell and Justin's, when I put it up, the X-Men episode, or go to their podcast, listen to it. Now, at the end of that second episode, they just start naming their favorite drops R's and like doing like, you know, they even did Bendis. They even did Bendis. I was like, oh my God. No. And I forget, I think Justin, was it Justin who went?
Superior puss. Oh my, I'm a bad influence. I love it.
I know. All right, Charlie Esser.
Well, If you'd like to write to me that old-fashioned email way, the way our mothers and fathers once did, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. Of course, follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet Naomi Tuesday nights at 9 at Charlie Esser. Is Superboy Prime the threat we all fear? CHARLIE. ESSCR. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz.
It's
been really great stealing your identity.
What?
We all know Superboy Prime is a menace.
He is a menace.
He's worse than Spider-Man.
Not as bad as Spider-Boy. Get that Amalgam reference in there. Amalgam's coming back, you watch. Marvel's buying DC and bringing back Amalgam.
You want some Amalgam, kids? Go check out the Patreon soon. Alright, kids. For another week, we have been your Capes.
En passant.
Lunatics! Obviously.
Duh. Oh, and hey.
Look out!
Oh, my.
Ravencroft Institute!
Oh, no. Oh, hey.
3 new inmates!
Oh, hey, Blue Chew, we haven't forgotten you. Please subscribe. Please,
I said duck penis. They should.
Oh, hey,
we didn't even go into the entire penis conversation that we had on.
Save it for
roasted a weenie!
Blue Chew, if only.
Hey, they got to sponsor us. They want that.
That is fair.
All right, kids. Come back next week. The Moon Knight. Sailor Moon Knight.
Hi, I'm Russell.
And I'm Justin.
And we're from the
Hold up. Listen up, you nerds. Tired of being a little goody two-shoes? Had enough of always talking about acts of courage and heroism? Well, you have come to the right place, I guess. Tomes of Evil is the comic book supervillain podcast, where every month we do a deep dive on a different comic book supervillain, as well as multiple sub-series on some of the most iconic foes of all time, including Darkseid, Doctor Doom, Scarecrow, and...
Named Hobgoblin, and you're right on time for your funeral.
I better be getting paid for this. So what are you guys waiting for? Bring on the bad guys.
Tomes of Evil, a comic book villain podcast.